in this whole journey of preparing for whatever comes, whether my mom is miraculously healed and restored to who she was before all of this stuff started, or whether this situation is going to end with her transitioning to the next life, I just pray that she doesn't have to suffer. I just feel like she was too good of a person.
She's like a big kid. And the reason why I felt that, because I only saw kids that happy. I've only saw kids that in my childhood, I only saw kids with that type of excitement and joy about just being around people. I only saw kids putting all those colors together and doing things and patterns and shapes. I only saw kids doing that. And it's not to say that she was immature, but it's just that love and that peace that she had when she was working. I only saw that in kids when they were playing outside, doing stuff that they love. I hadn't seen happy adults. I just hadn't, especially being in and out of different foster homes and stuff. I just was around people who were very pessimistic.
The thing about this situation for me that gives me the most anxiety now is not necessarily my mom passing away, but it's her suffering before she passes away. For the past 2 weeks, she's been getting better and better because the chemo has been leaving her body. So all of the effects of the chemo have been subsiding. But with that, the reality of the cancer and the effects of the cancer making its debut is at the forefront of my mind. Made all of my interests, especially my creative interests, like so accessible, to where I could grow in it, because everybody, and I hear so many people talk about, well, I'm just not good at that. That's not my calling. But the more that we do something, the more discoveries we make, and the better we get. And she understood that, and she fostered that, and like she brought that out of me. So that's what. And crossing that over, so now that she's at a point to where she some of her symptoms, she doesn't have any short-term memory, and she deals with confusion. So she's not, and she in her emotional depth, she's kind of lacking emotional depth. So it's just it is hard for me coming from having a mom that was so loving, and I was such a mama's boy. She raised me. My sister came along when I was 8, but for 8 years it was literally just me and my mom. Like I would sit on the sofa, she would watch TV, I would get behind her and like comb her hair, and we would watch TV together. Like that's what we would do. And she would always tell people, like she said, I was ready to have my kids. Like all these other people, the other women having kids, and then they leave their kids with their mom and they go out. She was like, when I had my kids, I was ready to be a mom. I wanted to love on my children. I wanted to be there. I wanted to spend time with them. That was and she did.
She wanted us to, and I say us because there were things that I was kind of second guessing myself on. She said, oh no, Delaration. Oh, just do it, Delaration. Just do it. And if it doesn't come out how you want, we know how to fix it. That's what I love. She was always solution-based. Extremely resourceful. She is the reason why I could take a piece of fabric, a plain, you look at it here, like one of those shows here. I know before you, all you see is this piece of fabric. Watch me make an outfit. By the time Miss Scent was done, she had a head wrap. She had stuff for her a wrist. She had stuff, if she needed be, ankle bracelets, whatever she needed to make the outfit complete. Mix and match pieces and prints, and I just loved it because she was like, it doesn't matter if this is in season, out of season, by season, this. She didn't care. If this is what you wanted to wear for that day, best believe on Christmas Day, if she wanted to wear hot pink, she was wearing hot pink. And that was it. She wasn't apologizing for it. She had this big hair and this attitude, and I just loved how much she embraced her individuality.
You're at the center of every lesson I've learned. So much wisdom I've heard come from your lips. Don't ever forget that I love you, Mom. You're the reason I'm alive. If God hadn't gave you to me, I surely would have died. You're the reason I write music, the reason that I use it to the glory of God. Mama, you're the reason I can love, and you're the reason I'm never giving up. You're the reason I made it, 'cause you knew I could take it. For me, Mama, there's not a woman in the world.
This morning was the first time that she woke up with a pain in the side of her stomach, like her lower abdomen, and she was trying to play it off, like she was trying to act like it wasn't that serious, but she was making this noise that she makes whenever she's in pain. She goes, whew, whew. When she makes that noise, she's in a lot of pain. And when she makes that noise in the middle of her sentences, she's in a lot of pain. Like I asked her on a scale from 1 to 10 how bad the pain was, and she said a 5. And my stepdad was like 50%. Oh, okay. He was like, do you think it's gas pain? And she was like, it could be gas. You know, but my stepdad is... He's trying to be so optimistic. He's being optimistic. My stepdad is being, he's having faith that my mom will recover from this. He's keeping it. So much so that it appears that he's not embracing the possibility of anything else happening. I'm worried about him. Like, I worry about him because I know how it feels to be caught off guard. February 2020, I was caught off guard with all of this. I was not prepared for this to become our reality. I was not prepared, you know. And as a result, I went to some very dark places, you know. So, you know, with him, and he loves my mom so much. I don't know how my sister and I would have made it through this journey without him being there, because he has been doing everything in his power to care for my mom as best he can. You know, as a matter of fact, when we made the decision, my sister and I, to propose hospice to him, he was like, "Oh no, I'm not." He said, when people go on hospice, that mean they about to die, and that is not where she is. That's not what we are not claiming that. And I'm like, you know, but at this point, if we try to get her home health, it's a waiting period, and we need help. You know, we need people who are able to do for her the things that we were not trained to do. You know, and care for her and track her health in a way that we are not trained to do. You know, and the fact that she became dehydrated, so dehydrated that her kidneys were about to shut down in our care, right under our noses, even though we thought that we were doing the best that we could for her, that should be just evidence that we need help. You know, we need help. And I know what that means. I know to you, you know, that means that in a sense we are embracing the possibility of this being so severe that it could lead to her dying. I know that. But at this point, if we don't go with hospice, then it becomes more about what we are unable to accept than it does my mom and your wife getting the best care that she could possibly get during this time. I don't want her to be in pain. I don't want her to be dehydrated.
If I were the sun up there, I would glow with love, oh, everywhere. I would even be the moon, oh, when the sun goes down. I'd stop just a moment, oh, just to see if you're still around, baby. Oh, that's how strong. That's how strong. Oh, that's how strong. That's how strong. That's how strong my love is. That's how strong. Oh, that's how strong my love is.
This situation really, like, it got in my face, and it was like, boot up or shut up. You know, you be walking around here saying that you believe this, you be ministering in music, you know, talking to congregations and audiences, telling them about, you know, heaven and the next step and wanting to be with God. But do you really believe that something comes next? Do you really believe that it's a paradise? Do you really believe that Jesus went and prepared a place for you and that he is waiting to wrap his arms around you and give you eternal peace and joy? Do you believe that? And I could not answer that question. I felt like I believed it, but then again, if I did believe it, then why am I shaken by this? Why am I so afraid? What am I afraid of? You know? So that's the journey I went on for the past year. That's the journey I've been walking. You know, is to make God and heaven real to me. So real that it takes the sting out of death.
My view of death is that death is essential. Death is the most natural part of life. Death is not anti-life. Without death, life wouldn't be so precious.
But as a kid, I was scared of it because I didn't know. It's kind of like the Sam Cooke song. I don't know what's up there. You know, I'm afraid to die. As a kid, thinking these things, you know. And so as an adult, though, I'm a little more comforted in the idea that those people who I do lose, they become ancestors. You know, just on my spiritual journey, I can speak for myself. That I truly believe that when those, no matter how young or old, when they die, they become ancestors. They become people that we, beings and spirits that we lean to for love, just that guidance.
In a nutshell, it's inevitable. And somewhere along the way, we've decided that we're immortal. And that's very unfortunate because that's not the case. And, you know, just not facing that reality doesn't really do anybody any favors in the long run. You know, just creates so much more, in my opinion, unnecessary grief, unnecessary stress, you know, just avoiding, again, the inevitable. It doesn't mean that, you know, you have to take away someone's hope or have, you know, death in their face. But at the end of the day, you know, when we plan for births, we have baby showers, we have bridal showers, we anticipate all of these events in our life, you know, now that we do the gender reveals and the pink and blue cupcakes, and but we don't plan for our death. And to me, that really takes away from the opportunity to celebrate one's life.
To do that, I like to call on people that I know that have passed, because I don't know, I start to feel like they're near. I feel like one time I remember going through something, and I called on a relative of mine who had passed, and I could smell her perfume. I know. Please don't think I'm weird, but I just did. It's like that was kind of like a gentle reminder to let me know, hey, I'm here, and you're gonna be okay. Like,
Death is natural. I feel that because we as a society can be so pulled away from nature, we can also be so pulled away from the natural occurrence of death.
You know, even when my mom was diagnosed and all the 3 years, I never really found myself praying to God to cure her. It was very strange, you know, if I just, you know, trusted in His thy will be done. But I did pray for strength and courage to get through whatever He's got planned. So that I prayed hard for. So that's my best advice is it's gonna take the courage and be brave, and it's okay to be sad, and it's okay to be scared, but you don't have to be alone.
Another day to get it right. Another day to open my eyes and greet the sunrise. Another chance to live my life. Another chance to shine my light. That's the sound of a soul set free. The sound of the voice inside of me. Promising to live on purpose, making every moment worth it, making every moment count. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Get ready for my light to shine brightly. I'm turning it up, turning it up. I'm turning it up, turning it up. I'm turning it up, turning it up. Put your shades on. Put your shades on. You're about to see the light that shines from within me. Are you ready? Turn it up.